Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early December 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Capricorn collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My God, speak to me. What do we got going on for the Cappies in early December? We're getting very close to Capricorn season, so I hope you're all making birthday plans. Yeah, let's see what energies, messages, insights we could take a little peek at. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. Well, let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the Cappies in early December. What is the vibe? What's the energy going on around my friends here, please? Let's get this first card out nice and quick for my good friends. There it is. Beautiful. All right, so this is a lay low type of energy, and I always like this card because first off, it's really beautiful. The aesthetics of it are very pleasing to the eye, but it's somebody just doing their own thing, laying low possibly. It's not very confrontational, so I mean, I guess it really depends on what you're going through. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the December subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So yeah, two main messages always come to mind when I see this card. We see that lovely lady. She's dressed up in costume, blending in with these birds. I'm not sure if they're storks or geese or what species they are, but what I do know is she's trying to blend in. First and foremost, for some of you, you might just be in your own mode, doing your own thing, laying low. Maybe there's someone you're dealing with, or might not be trying to step on toes. It could sometimes be an avoidant type of energy that I pick up here, not necessarily in a bad way, but it's like, I'll be over here type of energy for whatever reason. Now, pardon me, this does link also into aesthetics. Like I said, it's very pleasing to the eye. So for some Capricorns, I know it's a totally different direction than what we were already seeing, but aesthetics might be important, how you present yourself to the world, looks, hair, clothing, physical features. So for some of you, you could be changing something about your look when this shows up. It's also very confident. It reminds me of the Queen of Wands. So again, there could be something here linked to beauty, aesthetics, confidence, but it could also just be someone in their own lane doing their own thing, which is never a bad thing. So we're just going to leave it right there. Let's get into tarot, see if that shows up. And yeah, I always say this first card doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the Cappies. Let's see what we got going on. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled An Unexpected Win. So it's nice that that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks, because to me it felt like either something's going to go way better than expected, way better than you thought, or just something really good could pop up out of nowhere. Wins come in all different shapes and sizes, whether it's work, whether it's career, whether it's interpersonal relationships. So in recent weeks, I've been seeing a pretty nice energy moving in towards Cappy. So we're going to hope to keep that going. Let's see what we have this week. And yeah, I always say, you just take this however it hits for you. Energy is never set in stone. It's always going with the flow. And we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? So let's get it going here. 3 cards for the Cappies. What is going on? Thank you. Hierophant. Okay, that's an energy you could vibe with. I do like the Hierophant. I mean, I usually like an action card in position number 1, but being an earth sign, I feel like this is an energy that works. Let's get a couple more. Let's see what else we have going on here. It's a nice authoritative type of energy. Also somewhat lay low, like we were seeing with that very first card. A lot of power. A lot of like ingrained power in these first 2 cards. We have some karmic energy showing up with Lady Justice in the center. So much authority. Let's get one more. Thank you. And the 4 of Swords. Yeah, not a lot of moving energy on the surface, but that could definitely change when we get into the clarification aspect, but lots of air. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, I'm looking down here. I know I was giving a little commentary as the cards were popping out elementally, and you know I like to look at the elements first. We're starting with this really strong, powerful earthy energy, and then we move in with two powerful air sword energies. And air and swords, they do represent the realm of the mind, thought processes, but also communication and talking. And with these first two cards, it's just like the rules very strict. It seems serious in its own way to me, so I really want to see how this plays. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out, and I think you'll get what I'm saying as we move through. Position number one, we're starting with the Hierophant. Now for some of you might be connected to a Taurus, this is one of their cards, and the Hierophant has so many layers attached to this card. First and foremost, this is an immovable type of energy, like it's set in stone. This could represent spirituality, religious institutions, corporations, any sort of power structure, government. So you see what I mean? It's very planted. The Hierophant could represent day-to-day life. This is not thinking outside of the box. The Hierophant is. It is what it is. So for some of you, this could be your everyday routine. It's a very predictable type of energy. Now, if this is a situation or an issue, when I see the Hierophant, either there's a lot of history or it's not moving quickly, if at all. So we're really going to want to see what the clarifier is for this. In its challenge, like I already alluded to, it can be very stubborn in its own right, and it could just be something that sticks around and it's immovable, but there's a certain comfort in the predictability of it. Another thing with the Hierophant, it's an authority figure. So whether you're acting as an authority, whether someone else is, it really depends on your situation. Moving to the center, we do have another very spiritual type of energy showing up here with Lady Justice. Now, this is Libra energy. So whether you have Libra placements or you're connected to Libra yourself, she's another complex one. Now, she could be choices, decisions, weighing options. She's a big card that represents fairness. So hopefully you're dealing with a situation where you feel like it's fair and balanced. Hopefully it's not the opposite when Lady Justice shows up. But yeah, she could definitely be making a judgment call or a decision. So you see what I mean? There's a lot of authority here, especially with this one. So it could be two authority figures. Hopefully it's not a power struggle that we're already starting to see. Lady Justice could tie into any legalities. So whether it's contracts, whether it's anything you're putting your signature on, like leases, you name it. So watch out for any legal situations when we have Lady Justice in the mix. But the biggest thing with this card is that she represents karma, whether it's karmic cycles, somebody catching a dose of karma, karmic rewards even. It all really depends on what shows up. There's a universal energy attached to her. So we're going to want to see what karmic archetypes are showing up within the reading itself, because karma is about change and different cycles coming and going. So I really want to see what she has for us. Now, moving to the back end, and you see what I mean? All these energies seem to be set or planted. We have the Four of Swords here on the back end. This is a big card that is also spiritual. So you see the big theme we're picking up here: spiritual, spiritual, spiritual. This card does tie into rest, recuperation, meditation. Watch your dreams, watch your sleep when this card shows up. Hopefully you're getting enough rest and recuperation here. Maybe you need a little bit of a break. That's what this card could be. Like, all right, you just need a second to breathe for whatever reason. And think of recuperation. That's a huge thing here. Now, there is a big challenge when we're connecting to this Four of Swords. It is stagnant. It's not really moving. It's not doing much. Now, it's not a permanent hold. It's not a permanent pause. It's just very, very slow. So as I mentioned, for some of you, maybe there's certain things that are a little frustrating with all these planted energies. For some of you, maybe you find comfort in the predictability of all this energy. It all really depends. But I think what's really going to seal the deal is what shows up within the clarifiers, because when we have a lot of spiritual energy, a lot of sword energy, a lot of karmic energy, even if it appears like there's not much going on, there could be something bubbling under the surface. So I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for the cappies. Let's see what's happening here, my guides. Talk to me. There we go. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Hierophant. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Cappy, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Hierophant time. Yeah, and as I mentioned, with all this like air energy and all this power structure, there is a seriousness to the energy I'm picking up. So let's go. Stern, very stern. All right, this is an energy that is really, really difficult to budge. Um, Now, this can be good. Again, I feel like for a lot of the Capricorns out there, it's really a matter of perspective and how you're viewing something. When I see the Ten of Swords in reverse underneath the Hierophant, either it's one, something that's not going away, or is something that, and again, that could be good for a portion of you. This could be a very predictable energy where it's like, I'm here, I'm set, this is what it is. But for another portion of you, if you are dealing with any situations or problems that you're wanting to shift through, this is an energy that's hanging around. So again, whatever your perspective is, whether you're cool with that, or some of you that really want to shift something out might not be. Now, the Ten of Swords, even in reverse, can be a bit of a harsh energy. It does represent endings, especially underneath this Hierophant. For a lot of you, something that may have been in your life for quite a while. There could be an ending of some sort. But the main thing I'm picking up here, yeah, for some of you, this could be a problem, but some of you, this could be a blessing. I guess it really depends on how you're viewing it. Okay, because either way, the energy is not, either it doesn't want to move or it's not really doing much. Like it's just something that's hanging around. Okay, and we'll see how the rest of it plays out. But once again, we're getting more air here. So again, there's a lot of mental energy going on. There could be a lot of communicative energy that's coming up for a lot of you as well. So we're going to leave it at that. Like I said, for good, bad, or indifferent, this energy seems to be lingering. But let's go in on Lady Justice, see what she has to say. Let's see what Lady Justice has for my Cappies, please. Gods and Spirit team. Okay. Whoa. All right. So now the energy really begins to shift. Okay. Now we do have this very stern, serious kind of conversation or talk that could be coming in for a lot of you. I think, you know, there's a time and a place for things. I think being very straightforward, honest to the point is usually the best way to go when it comes to conversing with people. I guess it's about your audience, right? Sometimes you want to be truthful, but you don't want to be too harsh. And when I see Lady Justice and the Page of Wands, it's like, you know, this is going to be addressed. So either it's a serious situation or it's a serious talk that's coming in. And I feel like I've seen something similar for you in recent weeks. I can't be quite sure right now. But the Page of Wands, as with all pages, it's a communicator. It's a student. It does represent new. So whereas this energy is like lingering, it's hanging, this one in the center, it's like, no, we're pushing forward. We're pushing forward. We're not stagnating here. We're going to keep it moving. Okay. So this again can be seen as good. For some of you, it could be pushing you outside of your comfort zone. So don't be surprised there's certain things going on where you're not fully comfortable with it. But I think for a portion of you, this can be a very beneficial energy that I'm seeing all here in the front. But yeah, the main vibe I'm picking up here, it's either a serious situation that needs to be addressed or will need to be addressed, or just a conversation where you just straightforward to the point. You don't have to be mean about it. Just speak your piece. Okay, either that or someone's coming in to do that. Let's keep moving forward. I don't feel like we need to linger there. Again, it's coming through very cut and dry. And also to mention, we have this little bit of earth here in the front, but it's all air. Now we have the fire, which, boom, you mix those two, something really starts pushing forward. So let's see what the Four of Swords has, and we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the Four of Swords here for the Cappies, please? What is happening for my good friends? Okay, yeah. I mean, Eight of Wands in reverse, so it's the complete opposite of what we had before it. So for a lot of Capricorns, there could be certain things where it's like not a lot of progress, a little burst of progress, and then it stops as soon as it starts. So the energy does feel very choppy to me. It's like stop, go, stop, stop, go, stop. So don't be surprised in this time where it's like, okay, I'm making a lot of progress. Here comes another delay. Making a lot of progress. Here's another delay. I don't feel like a big drawback, but the Eight of Wands in reverse, not really moving, not really talking underneath the Four of Swords. Now, I do feel if there's anything in life right now that you are taking a pause from, taking a little break from, or recuperating from, this is a blessing in disguise type of energy. But again, I'm getting this like stop, go, stop type of energy. Eight of Wands, very fiery in the upright, very fast moving in the upright when it shows up in reverse, especially under a stagnant card like the Four of Swords. again, I do feel even if certain things are addressed, and are you going to get the change you want in a fast pace? I think it's just about time. Okay, like certain things do take time. So I could see a lot of Capricorns dealing with certain things that it's just going to be a process, or it could take a little bit of time here with the way the energy's showing up. Because like we have here in the front end, there's something lingering. There's something that's still hanging on, but it should be addressed. Let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. So very peculiar type of energy for you this week. If you kindly look in the box, elementally, we have a huge mix of fire and air showing up. But position number 1, we do have the Hierophant, planted, Ten of Swords in reverse. Now, again, for some of you, this could be predictable in a good way. Something that, you know, what you see is what you get. This is what it is what it is type of energy. But if it is an issue or a problem, it's something that's like lingering. It's there. Moving to the center, we have Lady Justice with the Page of Wands in the upright. Yeah, we're getting a little progress now. Something's starting to move. But the main vibe I was picking up here is like either a very serious talk where you're just going to be straightforward and honest. Either it's coming towards you or you're going to be bringing that to somebody else. It could also just be a situation that is serious and needs to be addressed, even if you don't get the results immediately. Moving to the back end, we have the Four of Swords with the Eight of Wands in reverse. So again, the stutter step where it's like not moving into some action, then stalling out again. So don't be surprised if there's various things where you stall a little bit, but it's not going to stay like that forever. It just feels a little frustrating. So please, take a screenshot if you want to look into it further yourself. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. So let's get a good shuffle here for the Cappies, see what's in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get your shadow card out. What's going on here? Thank you. Thank you. All right. Four of Pentacles. So a very reminiscent type of vibe that we've been picking up, especially on the extreme ends of the main part of the spread. Now, the Four of Pentacles is really good when it comes to financials. So for any of you that have been having any issues in career or financials, this could be really good. For some Cappies, if you're saving up for a big purchase or saving up for a rainy day, this is the type of energy we want to see. Where we encounter issues with the Four of Pentacles, the shadow side of it does deal with relationships or connections. And similar to these energies that we're seeing, it's just something that can't quite be let go of. Okay, so whether it's a slight or whether it is a person or whether it is a situation or a career thing, there's just something about the energy that's clinging. And that's the big vibe I'm feeling here. Now, does that mean it's permanent? Absolutely not. So for a lot of you, I feel the energy is split. I mean, for like work, career, the energy is looking pretty good, especially for saving for a rainy day. But when I see the Four of Pentacles in the shadow, it's just something that I mentioned it within the reading itself. Some things just take time, and there could be certain things that pop up where it's like, all right, you might just have to go through a process, or this might just take a little bit of time. So we're going to leave it at that, Capricorn. That's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the December subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar and book one at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the December subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Everyday Witches Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what do you want Santa Claus to bring you this year for Christmas? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.